Why local health professionals say you should add COVID-19 vaccinations to your back-to-school checklist. Plus, 3 years since the Branson duck boat sank, killing 17 people. 3 people face criminal charges connected to the accident.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri's health department says the state has reached COVID-19 case numbers not seen in months. This is KOAM News at 6. Health Department says the state recorded more than 2,300 new cases of the virus in one day. That's the highest since January. Hospitalizations statewide are up to 1,331, and the number of patients in the ICU is up to 409. It's time to get ready for the new school year, and in addition to grabbing highlighters and notebooks, health experts say now is also the time for those eligible to get their COVID-19 vaccine. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with a local health department who explains why getting students vaccinated is the next big step in overcoming the pandemic.
With the first day of school approaching, the Crawford County Health Department is helping students check items off their school supply list. One of those things includes getting vaccinated in time for the upcoming school year, which is more important than ever.
The one thing that we have to fight this virus is the vaccine. Locally, our numbers have gone up recently, and that's concerning to us.
If students got their first dose at Friday's clinic and got their second 3 weeks later, they would be fully or almost fully immunized by the time school starts. For students like Ashley Henderson, it means she has a shot at a somewhat normal school year.
I am involved in a lot of activities and stuff, and so having a vaccination makes it easier for me to be involved in that without risk of getting quarantined and stuff, so it's nicer.
And for Caroline Sharbet, who is about to start high school, she's happy to know she'll be safe while beginning such a big milestone.
It'll just be a more normal school year, no more huge precautions or huge stuff we have to do, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Her dad says a local increase in cases is what drove him to take her to the clinic.
Local hospitals getting more and more patients with COVID. That was kind of a wake up to, let's get them vaccinated, and because I have already been vaccinated and my wife is vaccinated, and so we felt like it'd be the best time to get the kids vaccinated.
With more kids in the county getting vaccinated, the health department says it will not only help kids have a safe school year, but can help out the county that's been seeing a surge in cases overall. In Pittsburgh, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
The Crawford County Health Department was able to put on this pop-up vaccine clinic with the help of the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, which has been helping border communities like Crawford County get more vaccines into the community. The Newton County Health Department is trying incentives to get more of that county's population vaccinated. Starting next week, anyone who gets both doses of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines will be entered into a drawing. 30 vaccinated residents will each receive a $100 gift card. Nick Kelly, we've seen quite a bit of rain in some areas over the past day.
Yeah, and we're certainly thankful for some dry time this afternoon and to start this evening out, Dal. Even though skies are trying to turn a little bit ominous once again, this is not really threatening cloud cover as we look out over 7th and Rangeline from the east side of Joplin. And you see on radar, nothing underneath the cloud cover out west right now, except for maybe a little pocket of showers trying to develop, emphasis on trying to get going west of Columbus. But after all the rain we saw this morning, areas in the green, much southeast Kansas, those are aerial flood warnings until 10:15 tomorrow morning. So if they're not seeing some ponded roads right now, some of the area rivers, creeks and streams might be a little high, so be mindful of that. And even though we're dry to start this evening out, our frontal boundary still parked right on top of us, and that's going to mean additional rain chances going into later tonight. We'll take a look at that. Plus, we'll see if we can keep these 80s around for the upcoming weekend here in just a bit now.
See you then. Crews in Jasper County rescue an adult and a child who were swept up in the waters of Center Creek near Airport Drive. Not much information is available right now. Both the adult and the child were taken away by ambulance, and authorities say they are going to be okay. This is video out of Labette County, Kansas. Labette County fire officials said they had to perform 3 water rescues this morning because of the flooding. Officials urge people to use caution on flooded roads, and as always, remember, turn around, don't drown. The Jasper County Sheriff's Office releases an image of the suspect's vehicle in yesterday's shooting near Harps in Airport Drive. This is the vehicle authorities believe the two suspects drove off in after the shooting. They think it's a maroon Honda Pilot or something similar. Around 1:35 yesterday afternoon, authorities responded to a call of shots fired at Harps just outside the grocery store. They located the victims, a 22-year-old Webb City woman and a 33-year-old man from California. At last report, they were both in the hospital with what police called non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. Authorities have not yet found the two suspects. It's been 3 years since the disappearance of 31-year-old Sarah Burton. She was last seen in Joplin on July 16, 2018, and was reported missing on July 20th of that year. Since then, authorities have conducted searches across the 4 states on land and in the water. They've come up empty, but the search continues. Anyone with information is asked to call the Joplin Police Department. A prosecutor today filed criminal charges against 3 people in connection with the tourist boat accident that killed 17 people on Table Rock Lake 3 years ago. 3 employees of the Ride the Ducks Branson attraction now face a total of 63 felony charges. They are Captain Kenneth Scott McKee, General Manager Charles Botzel, and Manager on Duty Curtis Lanham. All 3 face 17 felony counts of first-degree involuntary manslaughter, and McKee faces 12 additional charges. The captain is accused of not exercising his duties by taking the boat out on the lake during a thunderstorm. The others are accused of not communicating weather conditions or ceasing operations. The Missouri Highway Patrol says a 72-year-old Monette man died after he lost control of his lawnmower. Happened on a private property at Jolly Mill Park, 3 miles south of Pierce City. The Highway Patrol says Raymond Haddock's riding lawnmower overturned in a creek. Haddock died at the scene. Still ahead, Addie Lobby won't let age or geography keep her from her dreams.
I see it going pretty big.
I'm hoping. I see it going fantastic.
How she's creating a thriving fashion business despite all perceived challenges. And later, the SoMo All-Stars facing perfect timing in the championship bracket at the Premier Baseball National Tournament. Okay, so think back to when you were 19 years old. What were you doing with your life? Studying in college, maybe? Maybe working at your first full-time job? Well, for Bourbon County native Addie Lobby, it was the year she founded her own fashion business, Styles by Addie, an intimidating prospect in the midst of a pandemic. But thanks to a little bit of innovation and some help from her friends, she not only persevered, but she even found success. KOAM's Michael Hayslip reports.
20-year-old Addie Lobby has been in the fashion business for almost as long as she can remember.
I've been traveling with my mother for 15 years, ever since I was like 5 or 4, and we've been traveling and selling jewelry, so I've always been in this business.
So literally, since kindergarten, she has been designing jewelry.
Addie spends most of her day here, designing and crafting the items her mother sells to boutiques all over the country. But in her off hours, she started a business of her own.
Hi guys, welcome back. So today I have my beautiful model, Kinley, of course. She's always with me, and we are going to show you lots of cute outfits, plus this one I am wearing right here and hers. I know you guys have seen this jacket, and I know you love it because I also love it.
Every Wednesday at 5, Addie and her friends sell clothing and jewelry through Facebook Live.
It's been a very interesting ride.
It's been a lot.
Yeah, it's a very big learning curve, but it's super fun. The transition from the first live to our most recent live, it's like way more smoother and way more confident.
Yeah, the first one we're like, yeah, these are our clothes. And then that was really it. But now we've really gotten into the groove of it, and it's just smooth.
Running an entire storefront through a digital space may seem unorthodox, but for Addie, it's the only way it made sense.
This is a better avenue for me because we live in the middle of nowhere. We're a homegrown business. We're like a family business, and instead of like having people come here then we can just sell online. But if you just sell online on a website, no one gets to see the clothing. I've been doing this for a long time, and I realized how much I love putting together outfits and finding things that look good on all body types.
Even as she forges her own path forward, the young entrepreneur's not afraid to wear her inspiration on her sleeve.
And I think she's around so many women-owned businesses, and they empower other women, and they have also given her the confidence to take off and do her own thing.
And the confidence to succeed.
I see it going pretty big.
I'm hoping. I see it going fantastic, honestly.
Michael Hayes.
The original plan for the business was to save some money for college, but with all of her success, Addie says she might have to change that plan. You can find a link to Styles by Addie in this story on our morning show page at koamnewsnow.com. Later, Webb City faces off with 18 Victus National in the Premier Baseball Junior Championships. We're going to have highlights in sports.
Plus, even though we saw some dry time late this afternoon, we have more rain chances to track, and we'll track temperatures too when we come back.
Hi, this is Alan from home.
Our weekend got off to a pretty interesting start, especially as we were tracking a lot of thunderstorm activity from yesterday afternoon all the way through this morning as our frontal boundary stalled out right on top of us, and with a good upper level wave aiding in our thunderstorm development, we just got socked with plenty of moderate to heavy rainfall and at times a couple low-grade severe thunderstorm warnings, especially late last night. But the big story from the storms last night was all the rain it left behind. 2 inches on the average. That's just across the entire region alone, but we see the big bullseye over southeast Kansas. Even a couple areas around the Veda and Fort Scott where rain amounts there range between 3 and 7 inches. But you go from Chanute, 3 inches ever since yesterday to almost 10 inches in some spots as you work back toward Wilson, Montgomery, Labette, and Neosho counties in southeastern Kansas. And all this heavy rainfall left us with a mess this morning, especially around Labette, especially to the north and east. Wallace Road south of 21,000, that was not passable early this morning with all that rainfall passing over the road. Not to mention water over the Main Street Bridge in Parsons back at 9:31 this morning. That was just due to outflow from Labette Creek. But up to 12 water rescues just in Parsons alone reported to us here, but also a water rescue north of Thayer around 47 and 169. That was back at 5 o'clock this morning. So we were more than thankful to see some dry time this afternoon and evening, but all these flood warnings in the green, those don't expire until 10:15 tomorrow morning, and that doesn't take into account some of the area rivers, the Fall River, the Verdigris, Neosho, Little Osage, Osage, Marmaton. Those are going to be running high until we get into early next week. So again, it is nice that we're not seeing anything out there in terms of rain to start the evening out, but with that front still around, we're going to have to keep an eye on some additional thunderstorm chances, but not until later tonight. Even though it looks partly to mostly cloudy from 7th and Rangeline, we are dry in Joplin, 83, with it feeling like 85 thanks to dew points sitting in the mid-60s. It's much of the same across the entire area, near 80 into the mid-80s in a few spots still, but with that humidity, feels like we're in the mid to upper 80s at this hour. A slow drop this evening, eventually into 75 by 10 o'clock and down to 70 overnight while we keep an eye out for additional rain and storms wanting to develop. But the morning batch of rain, it fell apart before it could make it to Memphis and northwestern Mississippi. But the main player, the frontal boundary, that's still parked on top of us with the upper low still near St. Louis. These two factors will try to spark some additional scatter storms, but not to start this evening out. It's not until we get after 10 or 11 o'clock that's when we'll start to see some scattered storms out west develop. And it looks like the brunt of the action will be in our southwestern counties as we go into Saturday morning. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Maybe a break around lunchtime, and then we're going to see some more scattered storms as we go into Saturday afternoon. 70 in the morning, but with some dry time, we'll go to 81 by noon and highs near 86. So just with tonight's rain chances alone, if they can materialize like we're expecting, this could be another 1 to 3 inches with some of those strongest storms. Again, mainly possible with moderate to heavy rainfall. Same story for Sunday. Scattered storms around. That'll keep us in the mid-80s for highs, around 86. Mid-80s continue Monday through Wednesday as our rain chances taper off. But as soon as we dry out now, back to the typical summer heat with highs near 90 on Friday.
Yeah, what's typical hasn't been typical this year, but
Yeah,
we'll get hot again.
Yeah, rather atypical July so far.
Thanks, Nick. Coming up in sports, the Joplin Outlaws host an interleague matchup against first place Clarinda A's. Plus, a pair of local teams in action in the championship bracket at the Premier Baseball National Tournament. Jacob Leonard joins us with that and more next.
Well, the Joplin Outlaws are at home tonight hosting the Clarinda A's. And Joplin finally has a little momentum coming off an 8-0 shutout win over Nevada last night. The Outlaws try to stay rolling tonight and knock off the A's, who are currently in first place in the Mink League North. Game time is 7 o'clock. We'll have highlights from Joe Becker right here tonight at 10. Well, today is day 3 of the Premier Baseball Junior National Championship Tournament here in the four-state area. Now, 2 local teams have made it to the championship bracket, Webb City and the Somo All-Stars. The Somo All-Stars on the field today at Missouri Southern, taking on the perfect timing Red squad. Josh Waycaser for the Red side gets one through the left side for the RBI single. Somo All-Stars down 1. They would get out of the inning with a double play here. Galena's Brett Sarwinski starts it. Seneca's Lucas Mars turns it. Local guys actually go down 6-1 going to the 6th. They get back in the game. Titus Atkins slices it to left. Ground rule double scores 2. Somo gets 6 in the inning to take their first lead, but in the end, perfect timing comes back to win in extra innings 11-10. As for Webb City, they're at Joe Becker this afternoon facing the 18 Victus National team. Second inning here, William Hayes up the middle for the base hit. Walker Sweet turns and comes home. All-Stars up 3-1. 2 outs, bases loaded for Kaylor Darnell. To the fence in left center, 3-run double for Darnell. Big 7-1 lead for Webb City. Victus National back in it though here in the 5th. Tragan Parker breaks a 7-7 tie with a deep shot to right. Solo home run gives Webb City the lead. And tying run coming home. Great play here. Runner going to be out. Victus National though comes back for the second time. They top Webb City 11-8. The second half of the season begins tonight for both the Kansas City Royals and St. Louis Cardinals. Both of them are at home to start the second half. The Cardinals kick off a 3-game series against the Giants tonight. St. Louis comes out of the All-Star break 2 games under 500 at 44-46. That one starts at 7:15. At 7:10, the Royals open a series against the Orioles. Kansas City trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. We'll have the latest from both of those games tonight at 10. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
It's available.
Take time now to honor a local veteran, Sergeant Major Leslie Cole. The Joplin native served in the U.S. Army, and we are proud to salute Sergeant Major Leslie Cole. He's tonight's four-state hero. Now here's Fox 14's Mike Mahoney.
Thank you, Dow, and here's a look at what's coming up in your KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. You'll learn what U.S. airlines are doing about a pilot shortage with Americans ready for some summertime travel. Plus, the Biden administration is taking steps to deal with deadly misinformation concerning COVID-19. And we'll show you how New York City is getting some help from the farm when it comes to combating their park's weed problem. Those stories and a whole lot more tonight on your KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Mike, thanks. More rain chances in the days ahead.
At least not to start this evening out. We'll have to watch for the overnight hours, though, and even tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, we'll still be warm. Highs are 86. We'll do it again Sunday, and we'll taper off those rain chances starting on Monday.
Final sports note.
Not so good news for the Nevada Griffins today after a positive COVID-19 test within the team. They're not going to have enough players to field the team, so effectively the rest of their season has been canceled.
Oh, that is a tough break. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Salon service is provided by the Wild Side,